the amount of tension that I have with Fendi is hard to describe. So I've literally been making a bit of a list to kind of help articulate what's happening in my relationship with Fendi at the moment. Welcome to you, my name's Dale and this is Dale's Addiction. Today I'm going to tell you the truth about my current relationship status with Fendi. Now, this video was kind of inspired by the fact that my fabulous sales associate down in Sydney has been trickling the Marc Jacobs release to me. And I'm not going to make a video on the release unless you want me to, but it's going to be hitting stores in May, which is just around the corner. And if you remember back to when Meredith and I did a review of the Fendi Cruise catwalk that occurred back in September and launched in November, we weren't sure when the Marc Jacobs collaboration with Fendi was actually going to be released. And there was a little trickle of pieces in December. Then there was a little bit more in March. Well, the real deal pieces are coming next month. And the one piece that I had on my wish list was the beautiful crystal baguette, which I thought was a mini baguette. And I'll pop some pictures up here of the catwalk show. This is the one that I wanted. And I knew from doing the pre-order process for my Fendi mirror baguette that I would need to be pretty specific about my wish list because chances are I wouldn't be able to get everything that I wanted. So better just to focus on one thing. My sales associate sent me through the first lot of pictures from the merch team and the crystal baguette has been made in the regular size for the handsome price after the recent price increases on baguettes of $17,200. $17,200. I mean, seriously, I've got one picture of it. It looks like that there are different shaped crystals. There are some rectangular crystals, kind of emerald shaped, that spell out Fendi across the baguette. And then there are other shaped crystals that kind of, you know, form the main body of the bag. Yes, it's beautiful. Yes, I'm sure that there's insane craftsmanship associated with the production of this bag. But $17,200, it's not even a made to order. It's something that you're going to be able to buy at the boutique. My mind was just blown, and in fact I was kind of disgusted. I was expecting it to be around the $8,000 to $9,000 mark, similar to some of the more detailed 25th anniversary baguettes that were released. But $17,200, like, anyway, so it's fair to say that's killing me. It's gone from my list. I'm still waiting for the mini. I find out the mini is not being made though. It is going to be a phone pouch, and so far it's not hit production yet. It's not in the sales associate system, and God knows what price that's going to be. So I may be giving up on my dreams of owning a piece from the Marc Jacobs collaboration. Play a violin for me. Is this a violin? Is this how you play a violin? There we go. That's better. Okay, let's go to a positive. Last week, I got a message from my sales associate here in Brisbane, and she invited me. They're usually last minute, the events. Like, there's never really a lot of notice. But whatever the case, I'm super grateful to be invited that a fashion illustrator was coming into the store to draw clients and their peekaboos. And even though I had to work that day, I had a massive day, I was like, yes, I'll be there. When's the last appointment? Please let me take that one. And if you didn't see my reels on Instagram, I'll link my Instagram handle below. But you'll see the outcome of my beautiful picture. It's been printed on photographic paper. Basically, the process was that the illustrator takes a photo of you with your peekaboo, then uses a digital art platform to kind of trace and apply what looks like a watercolor. So it's pretty authentic, and watching the process was pretty magical. And for this is something that Fendi do, and it's a really special thing that they offer their clients. Just before Christmas, they also offered to draw the latest season's baguettes with latest season's ready to wear. I had one of those done through my Sydney sales associate, and unfortunately it got lost in the mail and I never received it, which was devastating. So this is something that I'm not sure a lot of houses do, but something that's really, really special that Fendi do is celebrate their clients and their purchases. Okay, I'm going back to pre-orders now, and this one is probably quite controversial. My good friend here on YouTube and in real life, Meredith from the channel Living Luxe with Meredith, will have a video going live about this probably today. So if you haven't checked out her video, please do. And it's about the Louis Vuitton pre-order process. But with Fendi, what I've discovered, let me get the bag. I pre-ordered this bag with 100% deposit a couple of months out from the release. And I didn't need to, because I walked into the store some months after the release and there was still one there. Now that I understand, me pre-ordering and securing with 100% deposit means that I absolutely, definitely get the piece that I want. However, there's an implied pressure that if you don't pre-order, you may and possibly will miss out. Now, if this was an exceptional circumstance, I wouldn't be talking about it in this video. But I have found, certainly, that every time I have pre-ordered something, it's been readily available after it's come in. And I think that I'm at the point now where, with my collection and with my, I guess, knowledge of how the process works, that I'll be less and less inclined to pre-order, because I don't want another person, company, entity to have my money for an undisclosed period of time to secure a piece that I might well be able to just purchase off the boutique floor or elsewhere, overseas through contacts, without having to forego the use of my money for a period of time. I understand how it works, but I just don't think that it's fair in terms of this whole concept of scarcity. And therefore for me, particularly with the fall winter launch, I just was like, no, I'm not pre-ordering any bags. I do have a piece of ready to wear on pre-order from that collection, because sizing is often limited, especially for my sizing. But for bags, I just think pre-ordering, I'm probably not going to do it anymore, because I don't see that it's exclusive enough to warrant putting that money, a lot of money, to one side for several months. In saying that, I have a piece that I pre-ordered back in February and paid 100% for, and I'm still waiting for it. But it's locked up in Australian customs. As far as I know, it hasn't even arrived in the country yet. So that's probably going to be my last pre-ordered bag. That brings me to one of my big pet peeves, and that is the constant limited opportunities to pre-order this. The Sex and the City Purple Rain baguette. If you don't know, I was one of those lucky people that I walked into the boutique back in 2020, and I was lucky enough to just pick this up off the boutique floor, which I understand is a super rare and very, very lucky situation to be in. Since that time, pre-orders reopened for distribution in June last year, and a lot of people jumped on that. Apparently it was limited to 50 pieces worldwide, but I think that I knew all 50 people, or I was certainly talking to them on Instagram about them pre-ordering and hoping to secure this bag. Since those bags were delivered in June or July, pre-orders have reopened on many international websites, particularly in the US and Europe and London, for this bag, to the point where it's no longer exclusive, it's no longer limited, it just seems to be open for pre-order at certain times. And it's another one of those lures that are used to kind of bring people in, to make them feel like it's a special, limited experience. And it's just not anymore. It used to be, but it's not anymore. And that will affect the value of this bag in terms of resale, if that's something that you're considering when you purchase this bag. Certainly, I want people to experience the joy of owning this bag, because I absolutely love mine and what it means to me. But I also have this tension around, don't market something as exclusive if you're going to continue to re-release it over and over and over again. Okay, there's a June capsule being released. Now, I have to tell you, there are so many beautiful pieces in this capsule, things that really appeal to me that are super, super, super tempting. Fendi continues to bring out fabulous designs using unique materials in all of their bags, whether it be the Sunshine Shopper Tote, the Baguette, the Peekaboo, and, you know, the Fendigraphy and the Nanos, and just beautiful playful touches. And the June capsule, my photos are really, really poor, but they're all focused on natural materials and a nautical theme. There's a bit of astrology. I'll put some pictures up here. When I get better ones, I will share them with you. But this kills me because they are just right up my alley, and pretty much every collection. There's so much that I could purchase, and I really just have to rein it in, because if you hadn't already heard, I'm taking a big holiday in the second half of the year, and you know, I really want to be in the best position I can to enjoy and indulge on that holiday. And all of this temptation coming through from Fendi is making it so, so hard for me to do that. My pink sequin bag still hasn't been repaired. If you haven't followed the saga of my pink sequin bag, about June last year, I paid 100% deposit for a made-to-order pink sequin baguette. Exactly the same as this one, but was featured in the Sex and the City spin-off, and just like that. I waited over 6 months for that bag to be produced and delivered to me, and I dealt with my fabulous sales associate who's now left the Bond Street store in London. The bag arrived, and literally on its first wear, sequins started to fall off the back of the bag. Fendi Brisbane here, my local sales associates, couldn't have been more helpful in offering to work with the London store to come up with a solution. It took the regional repairs person nearly 6 weeks to get me an outcome, which was sequins to be sent from Rome in some kind of 4 weeks later. That was the dispatch date for it to be repaired here in Australia. And I thought, okay, that's good. That's probably going to be a faster outcome. Those sequins were supposed to be dispatched on the 10th of March. They have only just been dispatched, and we are now sitting on the 25th of April. So I've received the bag in January, and I haven't had it all this time, yet I paid for it in June last year. I'm not sure if the sequins have arrived yet, but they have to make it to store. Then the store has to send the bag and the sequins to the bag repair centre, which I understand is in Victoria in Australia. Then it needs to be repaired. Then it needs to get back to me. So I'm probably going to be looking at a good year since I paid for it until I have the bag. And guess what? That bag has been open and available for pre-order several times in the UK and the US as well. I just don't think that that's good enough. The price increases have been really, really painful. The Peekaboo price increases occurred back in November last year, and the baguette price increases occurred this year. The baguette that I was talking about earlier, the Marc Jacobs collaboration baguette, when it was originally shared with me, was $16,800. What a bargain! After the price increase, it went to $17,200. A $400 increase on an already insanely expensive bag. It's getting to the point where you're better to do a made-to-order than you are to buy off the shelf. So these price increases are putting Fendi into a space where Fendi is really now competing with the likes of Dior in terms of the level of their prices. Fendi has always been on the expensive side, in my view. That has never stopped me from loving Fendi and purchasing multiple Fendi pieces. But I think we're all starting to feel the impact and starting to reassess our decisions around, is it worth it now? Whereas before, that was never something that I found myself thinking about when it came to new collections and new pieces. If I loved it, I'd just buy it. Now I'm going, is it worth it? Should I pay that kind of money for this piece? But finally, the reason that Fendi kills me is the people. I think that I'm not alone, and particularly when I watch YouTube videos of people who buy direct from Fendi boutiques, in saying that the staff and the service, the pragmatism, the friendliness, the approachability of Fendi boutiques and Fendi staff is kind of second to none, in my opinion. I have an established relationship, yes, I do. But everyone I talk to says what a lovely experience they have shopping at Fendi. And I think that's kind of what makes you feel connected to something more than just the bags and the pieces that you buy. I can tolerate all of this because of the people that I deal with, the people that I am engaged with, the people that are trying to send me all the pieces they think that I will love, the people who are sending me beautiful pieces that they know I will love, the people that are trying their damnedest to try and get me outcomes on the repair of my pink sequin. I adore the people here at Fendi Australia, and I talk to sales associates all over the world who we talk on Instagram, and I have to say the staff genuinely love the brand, and they love people who love the brand, and it feels like a big old family. And despite some of the challenges, it is a business that is growing here in Australia. As I think I've mentioned before, I think Australia was only like 7% of the market share. We are growing, and the team here are doing a magnificent job of bringing fantastic pieces to Australia and getting us access to things that potentially we wouldn't have seen here before. So that's the truth about my current relationship status with Fendi. You know, I love them. I try here on my channel, I want to give you the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. I'm not an ambassador for Fendi. I am not paid by Fendi. I don't receive free things from Fendi or discounts from Fendi. I talk about them because I have a genuine love for the brand. But I also think it's important for that to be balanced, and that you can see that I'm not totally brainwashed. I'm in love, and there's that lover's fog in the brain department, but I'm not brainwashed. Absolutely not. So let me know how you feel, if not Fendi, about your favourite brand. As I mentioned earlier in the intro, I'd love to know what you're loving and what's frustrating you, and how you describe your relationship status. It's complicated. It's good. Is it as complicated as mine? Let me know in the comments section down below. If you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. I put out videos on Wednesdays and Sundays, and sometimes some extras. I'd love to see you back here next time. Until then, ciao.